My name is Blazej Krakowiak, I'm with CreativeForge Games, and this is I Know Your Game.
You made it. Whoa, 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 whoa!
What,
I know, shit! I'm sorry, I missed the pickup. Hey, bad business.
This is impossible.
I know, right? Look, I need your help. I'm stuck. Bad. Bagman went pig, made off the take, left me leaking all over the fucking concrete. Oh, shit.
This is a tactical Cold War strategy / thriller with a conspiracy theme. So we're trying to build something anchored in the historical events and persons, but telling our own spin on it, basically. And the core of the game is tactical missions, tactical encounters in the classic turn-based format, and also an overarching strategy game that connects everything and gives players an extra layer to tinker with. Well, it's a lot of things, and we can start with a strong story side, with a more realistic story, because we had some fantastic sci-fi and fantasy turn-based offerings. We decided to do something a little more anchored in the real world, even if it's slightly fictional. And besides, we are adding the conspiracy and espionage spin on the whole gameplay. So the stakes are not exactly clear. We are playing between the two sides of the Cold War, and because of being outgunned and outmaneuvered, we have to basically apply all those dirty, shadowy Cold War tactics and all those shadowy, dark government programs that we hear about. So mind control, programming, torture, perhaps, interrogation. Like, we don't have to do any of it, but it comes into our field of view, basically, because we are so desperate and the stakes are so high. So we will have to make some difficult decisions, whether to help ourselves along the way or try to become or remain pure and uncompromised, but then risk the fate of us and the world. It is the Cold War, when all those things were actually developed and tried on people, even though the governments are still trying to deny this. We don't believe them, right? And that's the conspiracy theme that we have in the game, and the secrets that are everywhere actually encourage you to go digging, try to turn things around, but also you have to jump at shadows everywhere, because there is danger and potential double agents working against you, and your best people can still be brainwashed agents that work against you. So you have to be careful, but you can also turn it around and employ those tactics against the enemy.
This is going to be so exciting. I can't wait for this.
I'm glad that you're so excited. If the Third World War breaks out, you're gonna do great.
Yeah.
Like. We're definitely not the worst guys, which in a shadowy, uncertain environment is already something. So the point being, the conspiracy, that's our main enemy in the game, is trying to control the world by adding conflict and playing both sides of the Cold War against one another. So at the very least, by fighting them, we are trying to free the world from their manipulation. And then maybe the world could sort itself out, because obviously it's working so great in 2017. But we can at least try, and this is video games, so why not? Well, definitely a higher entity, but we cannot spoil everything. What we can say is a name that you might have glimpsed in the opening cutscene, entity called Beholder Initiative, and this is the public front for our conspiracy. In the best tradition of conspiracies, there is a company or an NGO or a lobbying entity that's officially working in the open, but we know they're just a front for something very sinister. So this we know and we can tell you, but obviously we have to go deeper, so there is more to that as well. I would say we're jumping in and out because you get to go to actual historical places. There are actual historical characters that flow through the story, either as reference or maybe you meet them or someone tells you something about them, and it actually happened. But we also draw wider inspiration from things that happened in the Cold War, not necessarily at that time in the 80s, but definitely either happened or is very strongly rumored and believed. And we use that as basis for missions, for events, and so on. So we're not trying to recreate history, but we're pulling a lot of inspiration out of it because the Cold War is a perfect period where you have so many cool things or horrible things, whether you look at it from the entertainment point of view or history, that you can pull inspiration from, information, and so on. We're just announcing it at Gamescom, so we're keeping some things a little closer to our chests, but the game is coming out in 2018 and definitely for consoles and PC.
Agente Strong, gotów ku opłacy.